Om Hrim 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 Hum Hum Ham Klim Shri Mataji Bhagavati Sameta Shri Babaji Bhagavate Namaha. Om Hrim 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 Hum Hum Ham Klim Shri Mataji Bhagavati Sameta. Namaste everyone. So we continue our discussion on immortal Himalayan masters, including Mahavatar Babaji. And of course, I just keep in front of me a wonderful book, Autobiography of a Yogi, written by Paramahamsa Yogananda, and actually global esoteric community came to know about immortal Mahavatar Babaji just because of this wonderful and great book. Publication of Autobiography of a Yogi, as you remember, that's middle of 20th century. And now we can't even imagine our international, global yogic and esoteric community without information about Mahavatar Babaji. But actually before middle of 20th century, that's was absolutely hidden information, secret information. People just didn't know about that. Normally we connect Mahavatar Babaji with the Kriya Yoga meditation tradition. Of course, Mahavatar Babaji, he is the source and guru for many actually traditions, including Buddhism generally, and especially Tibetan Buddhism. And in Tibetan Buddhism, they have also archetype of Mahavatar Babaji, but they just call it Samantabhadra. So first Buddha in this cosmos, and they call it, him Buddha Samantabhadra. But actually Buddha Samantabhadra and Mahavatar Babaji, that's just one and the same. Even if you take, just see the picture of Babaji, the way we know him from this book, picture given by Paramahamsa Yogananda, and if you just take picture of Buddha Samantabhadra, you easily can see similarity, but of course I speak about the fact that Buddha Samantabhadra, first so-called, philosophical, like first Buddha, and Mahavatar Babaji, that's actually the same great guru. I'm just claiming it because of information from my guru Yogi Ramaya and his explanation of the situation. And now we have so many schools, traditions, ashrams, groups, and people practice Kriya Yoga. And now in internet you can see huge number of websites and seminars, workshops, online, offline, just dedicated to this wonderful and ancient actually tradition. Basically, Kriya Yoga is not new. It's not like some people say that that's something new created by Lahiri Baba in 19th century, nothing like that. Actually, just take Bhagavad Gita and you can see description of very foundation of like basic things about Kriya Yoga, especially chapter number 5 and 6, and also we have reference to the Kriya Yoga in a chapter of 8 and 11 in Bhagavad Gita. Of course, Patanjali Yoga Sutra is actually an ancient book about Kriya Yoga. Yajnavalkya Yoga, it's also ancient scripture, yogic book, it's also about Kriya Yoga. And Of course, Vijnan Bhairav Tantra, which is in a sense famous ancient scripture, and in that Vijnan Bhairav Tantra we can see more than 100, actually 12, but really 120, more than 112 for sure, different techniques, and the last one is actually the most important, and that's Kriya Yoga meditation, which we call Soham. Actually, Kriya Yoga, it's a huge bunch of techniques. In some schools and branches, traditions of Kriya Yoga, we have a greater number of techniques, and sometimes they can be quite uneasy to visualize, to practice. In some schools of Kriya Yoga, we have a very simple, small number of techniques, so it's like different approaches. In some schools of Kriya Yoga, people prefer to practice just meditation and maybe sometimes breathing exercises. Okay, in a situation of our school and my Guru Yogi Ramak, we pay attention to the Bija Mantra tradition as well, and I'm very happy about this because, of course, practice of Bija Mantra may well prepare any practitioner to the real meditation. Because to jump to the meditation directly, sometimes not so easy, because you have to be able to practice concentration properly, to visualize many things properly, actually to be sensitive enough, and of course question of relaxation is also there as well. And that's the reason why Bija Mantra and breathing exercises, we call them pranayama, very, very helpful. Well, we have so many different schools, and sometimes people question how can we know that some of them are real, authentic, and some of them are not. And of course, I'm not going to judge anybody, but just I want to say that directly or indirectly, all Kriya Yoga schools and ashrams and groups, they just come from one source, and that's Mahatma Babaji. Of course, some groups, they have a more clear guru tradition. In Sanskrit we call it Guru Parampara, means, okay, suppose if I teach people Kriya Yoga meditation, I can point to my Guru Yogi Rama, and he was direct disciple of Mahatma Babaji. So that's always better to check, clarity of the tradition. Quite many people now, they claim that they are direct disciples of Mahatma Babaji, and that's one more very uneasy question, because in a sense, we live in a wonderful time when actually Mahatma Babaji become more open, and I mean that more and more people just meditate, concentrate on him, and then they able to experience his presence, even to receive certain messages. Actually, he is very active in the lucid dream practice. So if you're familiar with lucid dreams, so it means you can invite Mahatma Babaji into your inner world, and the mystical experiences which you can experience while practice lucid dreams. But I think that there is actually a huge distance between you can experience Babaji while meditating, while praying, while practicing lucid dreams, in a totally different situation if you really become a direct disciple or messenger of Babaji. I think it's not actually the same. So let me give you example. For example, let's say you pray to Jesus the Christ and you experience Jesus, during a meditation, personal prayer, or maybe mystical experience, as a dream, which is very real. To to meet any great master in a dream world. It's not fantasy, it's a quite real meeting. But you can experience Jesus the Christ, but it doesn't mean that you become immediately his disciple or messenger. So let's be careful about all that. Anyway, I think it's wonderful that we have so many branches and schools of Kriya Yoga, and my approach is, better to include and not to reject, actually. And I mean to say that it's wonderful when we as practitioners and masters from different schools respect each other, and it's not really nice when sometimes people try to critically speak about different Kriya yogic tradition, because it's a really uneasy question. Sometimes people's mind, human mind, create this illusion that Kriya yoga, what has been Kriya yoga? It's a bunch of techniques. But what if in your school you have one type of techniques, and suppose next door Kriya yoga group, they have a different Kriya yoga meditation techniques? What then? And I think we have to accept and respect that it can be so many different types of Kriya yoga meditation. Why not? It's like, I think it's totally wrong to say that, only one Christian church is right, all other wrong. No, we have actually more than 1,000 different Christian churches. Most of the Christians, they even don't know that we have not 5, 6, 10, but more than 1,000 Christian churches in the world, and God bless all of them. They're all wonderful. So the same like with Kriya yoga. And of course it's basically very important to practice. Kriya yoga meditation is not just nice articles, videos, books, but it's serious meditation techniques, so you have to practice. And of course, bhakti or devotion to the Supreme Guru Mahavtar Babaji is very important, because we can practice, but we need grace, and the source of grace basically is Mahavtar Babaji. Of course, it must be no sectarian mind at all, so we are open to the Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Sathya, all divine masters, and when your effort and divine grace come together, that's really may help you in your spiritual evolution. God bless all of us. See you next time.
Om Vaim Klim Prana Krishnayam Babaji Devayam Parameshti Gurave Namaha.